Hello. Alrighty, good. Hey there, it's Carly Benzagera and welcome back to my channel. So I apologize for the no upload on Monday. I did fly back from Pennsylvania on the day before Sunday and I forgot to pre-film. Sorry about that. But we're here now, so it's all good. So today I'm going to be talking about something that has been recently a very new and exciting adventure in my life, and that is turning to a more zero waste or reduced waste, really, lifestyle. So I've really been aware of all the trash I've been throwing away, all of my carbon footprint on this earth, you know, stuff like that. And this is really spawned from my yoga, healthy eating, foodie Instagram vibes. Like that's what this is kind of spawning, is that a word? I don't know, pulling from. So I'm going to share with y'all 8, I think it is. 8, yes, things I have done in my life to help reduce my waste and maybe that you could do, should do, could do, possibly, please, to help our earth in your life. So without further ado, let's get going. The first thing I am doing is reusing plastic bags so I don't have to purchase them as often. So, you know, Ziploc bags, you know, single use, put some grapes in there in your lunch and you're good, and then you like throw it away and never think about it again. However, my mom and we have been repurposing those bags, so you know, you'll use them and then wash them out, let them dry, use them again instead of grabbing a fresh new bag. This is great if you want like free stuff in the bags, if you just want a bag to like hold stuff, not necessarily food, but you also could use food in one of the repurposed bags, but it's really great because they don't have to purchase them as often. Better thing would be buying reusable plastic bags. They have those, but they cost more money. If you want to make the investment, that's great, but if you're not there yet, just reusing the ones you have already is a fine option. Second thing is no plastic straws. So for the longest time, I could not drink a drink without a plastic straw. Like I needed to have the straw there. I couldn't drink it out of a glass. If I was at a restaurant and I didn't get a straw, I would be like furious. I'm like, I need a straw. I have stopped that completely. I only drink without a straw now, and if I do want a straw, I have a metal straw, which is great. And I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I heard if you stick the metal straw in the freezer, it will kill the bacteria because the bacteria cannot withstand the freezing temperature of the freezer. I've done that a couple times. I don't know if it works or not. Don't ask me. But you can try that if it makes you feel more secure about drinking out of a metal straw. But that is one thing. Also, if you're in a restaurant, be conscious and say no plastic straws. Sometimes the waiter, it's just like have it and they'll put it in your drink. But that's one thing. Reusing boxes. So if you know, maybe you don't, my mom and I recently moved into a new apartment and we got our boxes from a friend and we gave our boxes to another friend that was moving. So that's a really great thing if you are going to be moving, or if you do need boxes, don't ever buy new boxes. There's most likely someone in your life that has some that you can borrow or use or repurpose. Fourth thing, using less TP, reducing your toilet paper use. And this is really kind of a personal preference thing and how like gross you're willing to be or whatever. Just as long, in my preference, I'm like, as long as I wash my hands, I'm good. I know this is kind of a little gross, but you know, really trying to watch your use of toilet paper because it is a paper product you are having to buy that is depleting the resources of the beautiful earth. Number 5 is cloth napkins, and this can kind of be gross if you're like not that into it, but it's really a good thing to get into if you and your family are trying to reduce waste as like a family thing, and that is using cloth napkins. You can either buy them or just repurpose some fabric in your household, and this really cuts back on your napkin use, your paper use, and it's amazing. You just use them until you feel like they're kind of gross and then you wash them. My mom and I use them and it really does reduce waste a lot because we're not buying napkins at all. This one kind of goes along with the napkins, and that is reducing your paper towel use by using a reusable cloth. So in our house we have 2 towels, one for like hand drying and one for like spills or messes or something that would require a paper towel, so that way we're not wiping our hands with the same thing we would just clean like fruit juice off the counter with, you feel. So that's a great thing. It's just, instead of using those paper towels all the time, it's still good to have paper towels because like, you know, if like your dog poops, you're not gonna want to pick it up with a cloth because that's just gross, you know. But just watching how often you use paper towels and trying to use a reusable option instead. Number 7, this one is probably the most out there and most daring, like not the easiest to do, but is very, very helpful, and that is composting. So my mom and I have been wanting to compost for the longest time because we started to examine kind of our trash and what the biggest thing we're throwing away is, and by far the biggest thing in our trash was food scraps. And we're like, we could do stuff with this. Like, you know, it's just going to a landfill where it's going to sit in a plastic bag, and we're like, that's unfortunate. And so I went online, I searched it up, and sure enough, there's a bunch of these websites where they show city by city where you can drop off compost in your city. And I was like, this is amazing. So I saw that there's a bunch of farmers markets that accept it, there's a bunch of local community gardens that accept it, different facilities that will use it, and people will use it in their home gardens, and it's amazing. So we just bought a little compost bucket off of Amazon, put our food scraps in there, keep it under the sink, and then once a week we take it down to our local farmers market, and the farmers repurpose it in their gardens, and then we buy the produce from them, and it kind of recycles, and it's a really great thing. So that's a really great way to watch your food scraps and make sure they're not going and sitting in a landfill, and make sure they're actually benefiting you in a way. And the last thing, tip number 8, is to use reusable produce bags. And this one is probably a little weird if you're not used to it, but you know when you buy apples and you put them in those plastic bags at the grocery store, that to me is like the most useless piece of plastic you could possibly be using, because you're just going to put that bag inside of another bag on your way to the car. You really could just use a cloth bag. So I actually started making cloth bags out of my old t-shirts, and there's so many different tutorials for that and stuff online, and it's really great. So now we bring a bunch of produce bags with us, and we put each individual produce there, and then when you go to the checkout line, just make sure you open up the bags so they can see, and put one item in each bag so they can really see, and it makes the checkout line go a little faster, because the checkout people, I heard, don't know if this is true, but I heard that they get like their pay or something, their rank or whatever determines on how fast they get their customers through. So just really help them out to make sure it goes as fast as possible. But it shouldn't be that big of an issue, because you know you are helping out the earth. But that's one thing you really want to watch out, is using all that plastic at the grocery store. So those are the tips I have to help make this earth a better earth and help you make it good with your footprint. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really, really hope that you decide to take on 1 or 2 or 3 or all of these tips, because I like living here on this planet. I don't really want to move to Mars anytime soon. But if you're into that, go ahead. Like this video if you liked it, and comment down below any other tips you have for those trying to be waste conscious, or I would love to hear them as well. So now on to my weekly favorites. I cannot think of a song of the week right now. Honestly, I was just sitting here for like 5 minutes trying to think of one. But if I find one, I'll put it down in the description below. And then my top 2 for this week is going to be Bretman Rock and what's his name? I am struggling to remember his name right now, but I really don't want to stand up to go get it. But I'll put his name right here because I feel so bad that I'm forgetting it. But they are 2 male makeup artists that are amazing. Bretman is so funny. He makes me laugh so hard. And the other guy, forget his name. But I had that feeling like when I watch his videos, I'm like, oh my gosh, we could be best friends. Do you ever get that feeling when you watch someone, you're just like, if we knew each other in person, like we'd click instantly and be like BFFs. Like I get that feeling when I watch him. So I'll leave both of their channels down below. Go check them out if you're into that. Subscribe to this channel for a new video every Monday, Saturday, and then sometimes Wednesday of summer. Guys, summer is almost over. Can you even believe it? I hope you haven't started school yet, but if you have, power to you, boo. Power to you. Keep going. Let's go. I'll pump you through. I'm here. If you need it, just let me know. I did not want to do back to school videos because I'm like, no. I don't ever watch the back to school videos. I don't ever get excited for them. I don't ever go, yay, back to school videos. Like, no. No one does. They're like, ew. No one watches them in the middle of July like, oh, let's go back to school videos, because no one wants to think about it. It's that's why I didn't make them, in case you're wondering, because ew, no. Okay, well, that's all we got for this week. See ya! I'm so hungry, but I didn't want to eat because I didn't want to ruin my makeup, even though my lipstick looks kind of whack. But you know what? Power to the people. people. I need to clean my room. I need to do so many things. It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna power through. I'm so sad. It's like a really hard thing. That was like really good acting. Like, go me.